When I play gacha game at the first time and there's a battle pass, I always check the stuff to see if it's worth to buy and then decide if I want to buy or not. Yeah. But if you're new, you might not know what's worth it or not, right? The prices also the prices is also one factor to me. If it's too pricey, I won't buy it. Makes a lot of sense, of course, right? Why would you buy something that's too expensive? I don't buy battle pass very often, but when I do, I make sure I'm at least halfway through with a clear path and time to finish. Yeah, this is very, very important. I also find it more exciting to get a bunch of items upon unlocking it versus having to pay and then still earn them. Okay. For the last 3 years, for me specifically, I don't. Your question with the earnings report is exactly the answer I needed some years ago. Why would I pay for temporary JPEGs if I can buy a game for less than that I can always enjoy? And if it's not temporary JPEGs, why do I play something where I pay for power? So he would rather buy Elden Ring. Okay? I don't want to knock anyone down paying for them. The games have to make money somehow, and in most cases, people spending for a battle pass is far healthier than buying roles for a character without guarantee. If it's a hobby, and the person enjoys the bought stuff and said things were relatively acceptable financial decisions, one should always go for it. I'm just glad I arrived at that conclusion for me. This is the problem. Buying a game can be a waste of money. Why? You have to look at it like this. If I pay 70 euros for a game that looks really good, there are two bad things that can happen. And one of them will definitely happen. Okay? What is that? What is that? You, number one, you play the game for a bit and you realize that 70 euros are just completely wasted because you don't like that game as much as you anticipated. Uh-oh. He paid $60 Elden Ring but he didn't like it. 2. And this is the one that will definitely happen. You play everything the game has to offer and the overall playtime is like 30 to 60 hours. After that, you cannot do anything anymore. The game just sits in your library with no new content added. Okay? Both are the reasons why I do not buy games anymore. Talking about like PC games, right? There are so many bad pay-to-play games out there that looks good on surface. Yeah, you can watch a review before buying, but that also has two issues. Number one, reviews and especially receptions are very subjective. And number two, why should I spoiler myself so much when I want to buy the game and play it myself? So he's saying that why would I spoil myself by going out to check out reviews? Which is true. If you go out and check reviews, you're gonna get spoiled a little bit. So you want to experience everything firsthand, which I can understand. Spoiler goes in very varying degrees, right? Some people don't like to get spoiled for story itself, but some people, they don't want to get spoiled at all. They just don't want to know anything about the game. They want to discover everything themselves, including what the game has to offer, the mechanics and stuff. But yeah, so I agree with this point. This is a very, very good point because it does show that gacha games have pros that people never really thought of, right? The second reason is my biggest regret. I spent so much money on paid games and the only games that are left are the two games that I play. Tower of Fantasy and Genshin. Tower of Fantasy. So he spent so much money on paid games. He buy Elden Ring. He buy all the good games. He buy Baldur's Gate 3 and everything. But in the end, there's only two games left for him. Tower of Fantasy and Genshin. It doesn't matter if you buy Elden Ring. It doesn't matter if you buy Baldur's Gate 3. It doesn't matter if you buy Starfield. In the end, everything finished. You're left with Tower of Fantasy and Genshin. Okay? I don't want to pay for something when I know that I won't touch it again after I played through it. I want something from a game in the long run. This is why I play gacha games. Wow. Okay? Okay, this is a very good essay, okay? After more than 3 years of Genshin, I have spent 298 euros. Just sum it up to 300, come on, just sum it up to 300. Why you gotta type it like that? How does he know he even have that? Just type around 300. 300 euros, which some people consider nothing, and some can consider it a lot. But I think the money is worth it. I profit from Genshin as a hobby and sort of an entertainment in the long run. So he profits from it as a hobby. Okay? Even if it shuts down in I don't know how many years, I'm still benefiting from it. Okay? The last thing that I want to mention is pretty important too. Paid games have to justify their price. Alright? There has to be either an extreme intrinsic motivation or an extrinsic motivation. But when it comes to free games, I can try it out and just drop it if I don't like it. And when I'm sure that I will continue playing the game, I'll pay for that. And that's when you buy the battle pass. That's when you buy the monthlies. That's when you buy the $1,000 package if there's any. Okay. Alright. So yeah, this is a good essay, I think this is a good. This will vary greatly from person to person. But I never have paid $70 for a game. Most expensive was probably Baldur's Gate 3 for $55 last year. And the average game sits on about 400 hours for me. Okay? Some, funnily enough, also free to play. Peaks of PoE is, I think, Path of Exile. Is PoE free to play? Because I hear some people say you have to buy certain things in the game to be able to progress. Like you have to buy like inventory or something. But that's what I've heard last time before. I'm not too familiar with that game, right? Because it's like a Diablo or something. Warframe is the first person. And EU4 with 6K, 4K and 3 hours respectively. What the heck is EU4? Elden Ring 4? EU4. I have no idea what this game is. Is anybody knows? Is it a PC game? Valorant or Apex Legends? No. What is I wonder what's EU for. However, I do like your take. Okay. If that's how you feel about the hobby and you adjusted after realizing it, that is awesome. I also think it would definitely apply to lots of people, especially folks that buy the new Call of Duty and FIFA every year. I'm most definitely the exception, not the rule. Okay. Europe Universalis? Huh? Does every PS5 game have game trials? Huh. I don't know, man. I don't know what is the PS5 thing. I love the interpretation. I see free-to-play games as being more accessible to the widest audience. Rather than behind a paywall, only some can climb, which I think is really cool. Yeah, I think more games need to start giving like demo and, you know, you gotta be able to try out a game. But of course nowadays it's easier. You can just look up a game and see if you like it or not. But then again, it's like you might still not be able to understand it fully, right? Fully. There's always that into the equation. Not sure why you are in gacha gaming since you seem kind of against in the favor of paid games. I played gacha for 10 years, pretty sure I will enjoy some more of them over the next decade as well. I just no longer have 5 of them installed at the same time. And have to do an hour worth of dailies. As I said before, anyone that can reasonably spend money on them, enjoys it, should do it and have fun. I just wanted to mention that never is a perfectly fine answer to the question you asked in the post. The earnings report part was just what told me nothing will last. And since that is actually an important part for me. But yeah, this is a good essay. Overall, I do understand that guy's perspective.